Hey, what's up guys? In today's video, we're hopping into normal arena because I want to check out this HP buff that we got, Blessing of Life. It increases HP by 100%. Now we also have this in Supreme Arena, but I wanted to check it out in normal arena because this is going to make using certain heroes against other heroes possible again. So before, you couldn't really use Athalia, or you couldn't really use Shamira against an Athalia because the Shamira would just get one shot by that Athalia super early in the fight before she can ever do an ultimate, and it just doesn't really work out too well. However, with this HP buff, healers become more viable, and also damage dealers that weren't used before against burst teams are now viable against them. So we're going to test some of that stuff out. Like I want to show you guys a Heroic team that I was using on defense, and it was constantly losing against this Seda Athalia team. So it's Seda, Mahira, Athalia, Burial, and then Dunliner. And I had my Lily May Perseus Heroic team in here with Ravion and Thador, and this team can win on offense, so I wanted to test it on defense, but it was losing every time to this team right here. And as soon as we got this HP buff, I actually won the fight. So we'll go ahead and watch this replay really quick, and then we're gonna do some fights against this Athalia Seda team. But as you can see, we start the fight out pretty good. We're all pretty healthy. Even though the Athalia's done her vengeance charge, she hasn't really done much damage to us. And we just took a pretty big hit. Or no, that was them. That was their Athalia that took a pretty big hit, not us. I forgot, we're the red HP bars. so yeah, we're doing the fight pretty well. Like our Heroic gets an ultimate, finishes off that Mahira and the other hero, and then it's just down to the Seda, and we're gonna kill that Seda pretty quickly. And you'll see the Athalia really doesn't have a chance at one-shotting us anymore, because the damage she deals, it's just not enough to deal with another 100% HP stacked onto the HP we already had, because they didn't increase the attack or anything. They just increased the HP, and that's why it makes it more viable to run maybe more sustained style teams, or maybe more CC sustained teams, that kind of thing. So let's actually, I want to show you guys a Heroic offensive fight that I did. So the team that Atraxia is running on defense is Dunliner, Burial, Athalia, Alicith, and Seda. And then we're going to run that same team I just showed you, but we're going to run it on offense. And we'll go ahead and hit replay, and you guys can check this fight out real quick, because this was a pretty good fight. So our Perseus runs forward, gets some damage onto that Dunliner. Our Heroic attacks the Dunliner. They end up killing him, I think. Yeah, right there. That allows Heroic to grow in size, so now he has even more HP than the buff gives us. We just took an Athalia ultimate. We did lose our Ravion and our Lily, but you can see our Heroic is pretty low HP. He just ate a full Alicith ultimate, and he's still alive. He's still going, and he's just not. He's not taking, or he's not gonna die. He just healed for a bunch, and the heroes that normally would take him out with one ultimate, they're just not able to do it anymore. And along with him growing on top of that buff, it makes him a monster of a hero. So it's pretty cool. I really like it. I'm hoping I can find a defense that uses Heroic to get a lot more wins, or at least have some RNG chance of getting some wins, because on my server, no one really attacks me. If you look, you can see Atraxia is the only one that, like, they'll log in every day, do their one attack, maybe two attacks, and that's about it. And then this Maxumi guy attacks me all the time, but that's just because they only lose 1 point if they lose to me, because they have a very low Paragon advantage against me, or they don't even have a Paragon advantage. They're just low Paragon levels, so they don't really have a chance of winning. And I'm pretty sure they're just completing their dailies every day, and just attacking for fun. So it's not really a good way to tell how good my defense is, unless Atraxia attacks me and I win. But anyway, let's do some fights on offense, and let's see how we do. So I want to put in Shamira to see if she can deal with the Athalia ultimates, because Shamira is a hero that always goes, or is always targeted by Athalia right away in a fight, and I need to find Atraxi as my opponent so we can actually test this. And I hate that we can't just pick our opponent. We have to RNG try and find them, and I keep getting the same person over and over again. Finally we got Atraxi. Alright, so let's take out her rock and let's put Shamira in here. Alright, there we go. We'll put her in the back, or no, we'll keep her like this so that she doesn't have to move forward at all, and she'll be able to start attacking it right away, because she only has a range of 4. But we still have a faction bonus, so we should be good there. And let's see if she can survive the Athalia ultimate, that or the vengeance charge even, that she does right away at the start of the fight. And then I want to try putting a healer in on this team so that we can see how much healing provides a bonus to our team surviving and all that kind of good stuff. So let's see what goes on. We got confined. We'll probably get hit with the Athalia something here soon. Yeah, see, that vengeance charge that Athalia just did, that normally would have just killed my Shamira instantly, and she was able to survive that with like a little bit more than a third of her HP, it looked like. And there's an Athalia, or an Aliceth ultimate. It looks like it took out the Ravion. We got our Shamira ult off, so we might actually win this fight, and that would be pretty impressive actually. Shamira usually does not have the ability to beat an Athalia team, because like I said, Athalia just always destroys her right away. And oh, that was so close. We'll still win because Perseus is on the team, but I was really hoping the Athalia wouldn't be able to one-shot the Shamira with that ultimate. But you know, once the Athalia has enough buffs built up and all that kind of stuff, she will eventually be able to one-shot your heroes. But you know, she has to build up to it instead of just starting the fight being able to one-shot everybody. So we actually got the victory with Shamira on the team, and I'm pretty impressed by it. She did the most damage, followed up by Lily and then Perseus, and that's pretty cool. So yeah, let's change the team up a little bit. I'll put a healer on it and see how that does, and then we'll maybe test some other things out. So just give me a sec. Okay, so we've got the same defense pulled back up. This time we're going to take Perseus out, and we're going to put Ludovic in just to see how his healing does, instead of having Perseus's damage at the start of the fight, because the Perseus damage, it does really help a lot, but I'm wondering if the Ludovic's healing is going to provide us enough sustainability to keep us alive through things like the Aliceth ultimates and the vengeance charges from the Athalia, and also the Athalia ults. Now, there is a Dunliner on the battlefield, so if the Dunliner doesn't die right away, like normally Perseus would kill him, but if the bell's up, then we're not really going to have to worry about the Aliceth ult and the Athalia ults as often as we normally would. So it's not always the end of the world if the Dunliner doesn't go down early, because it can sort of help you limit it does limit the ultimates your team has to deal with. And if you have Lily May on your team to be able to block the hero that Dunliner's protecting, then you really don't have to worry about any ults for at least the first 12 seconds. So we should be able to survive the vengeance charges from the Athalia quite easily, but let's see what happens here. Because honestly, with this HP buff, healers should be way more valuable. And they are more valuable now, but it's just going to be on the right team. And we might need the burst damage that the Perseus provided us. I'm not sure. As you can see, we lost our Ravion. That's not good. The Aseda just got an ultimate off, but our Shamira's just about to do her first ult, and maybe we can burst down some of these heroes before she dies. Okay, she just took a vengeance charge. We lost our Ludovic. That's really not good. Okay, so that didn't really work out. It looks like we're going to need, if we're going to use Ludovic, we're going to need more heroes that provide us like defensive things like damage reduction. So like probably Callan and Ludovic is going to be really good to run. Hugin maybe, Damon, Callan, Ludovic, Shamira, maybe that could do something. We'll see if we can get Atraxi as another attack option, and then we'll try that. So just give me 1 second to get this set up if I can get him as, or get her as an opponent, and we'll try this again. Okay, so we've got Atraxi as an opponent, and this is the last chance we have to attack them, at least until reset or until tomorrow. And we're gonna run Damon, Shamira, Callan, Ludovic, and Lily May. So Callan, with his Supreme Plus Enhanced Force skill, he's now going to be taking 80% of the damage your heroes would take, as long as they're within 2 tiles of him, I should say. So as long as they're in his radius, he's going to take 80% of their damage and eat it himself. So he won't, or he'll be adding a ton of survivability to our team. Ludovic's going to be providing us nice heals, and then Damon can be providing us extra shielding and also some healing, and he's also going to be boosting up Shamira's attack. So hopefully all that combined with Lily May being able to block some of the Seta's ultimates, we should hopefully have a winning team here maybe. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm really hoping the HP buff allows this team to work, but let's give it a shot and see what happens now. So I want to pause it here really quick because as I was editing, I realized I didn't really talk about this in the video, but if this team that we were fighting didn't have Dunliner on it, we would have won this fight most likely, because the Athalia is not going to be able to kill us in time, and our Shamira would have got her ult off way earlier, and we'd have had way more damage going and all of our synergies going way better way earlier in the fight. So it would have been a much better result. Anyway, let's go ahead and check out this one. Alright, our Damon goes forward, or the Stitchy does. Callan offers us tons of protection. We've eaten a Vengeance charge already, and it's done really nothing to us. There's a little bit of damage. We almost killed the Dunliner. His bell goes away. There's an ultimate, and the Shamira still got one shot by that ultimate from the Athalia. I was really hoping that she wouldn't. I guess, I mean, had the Callan been doing an ultimate himself, then she would have survived it. I don't know. That's kind of really disappointing. I was really hoping she'd survive that ultimate and be able to get her ult off, and then once that happens, it's kind of game over, because she's healing herself and whatnot as she's doing damage, and it just makes it really hard for the other team to kill her. So it looks like it's going to be better results having like more damage dealers on the team, and it doesn't look like it doesn't really look like the HP buff that we got changed a whole lot. At least I'll have to do more testing, but so far it's, I mean, it's good. Obviously we survived longer than we normally would have. Normally Shamira would have died to the first Vengeance charge. So there is that. So it does help us quite a bit. I shouldn't say it doesn't help us. We just have to find the right combination and all that kind of good stuff. So anyway, I think that's going to be about it for today's video. I just wanted to test out this HP buff because I saw that my Heroic team was actually winning on defense instead of losing, and that was pretty cool. So anyway, remember, I've got a link to the Farlight store down in the description below and in the pinned comment. So if you want 5% extra dragon crystals, you can use that link. You'll also be supporting me in the channel, and I really appreciate it. But that's going to be about it for today, guys. If you can, please like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. I really like brownies, yeah. It's yummy. I play games with y'all.